So what is basically in the skin whitening creams? So one of them being hydroquinone, which helps in reducing the melanin. You thought part 1 was wild? Wait until you see Rajinikanth shoot laser from his eyes like Superman, defying all the science and laws of physics, and even making Newton think why was he even born. This is where science go wild, and let's react to it. Hey friends, Dr. Bob here, ENT surgeon based in India, and today we'll be reacting all the jaw-dropping scenes from the iconic movies of Rajinikanth, and let's get into it. That's a lot of cream. It's more like they're using it for construction work, and God, that's really a lot to put on the body, yeah. So what is basically in the skin whitening creams? So one of them being hydroquinone, which helps in reducing the melanin. It can even contain topical steroids, which helps in reducing all the pigmentation, and also mercury, which is pretty much illegal and even not even used in most of the countries. Apart from that, it also contains kojic acid and niacinamide, which more or less is there in pretty much most of the skin products that's out there. So what happens with chronic usage of these creams? One of the common things being the steroid-induced skin damages, being it from thinning of the skin or excess hair production, or even there is stretch marks over the skin. It can also be steroid acne or even rebound hyperpigmentation of the skin. And systemic problems because of this mercury which is present. It can be relating to situations where there can be toxicity, there can be injury, or even fatal for the kidneys. And also it can lead to other neurological symptoms. And finally, it can also have psychosocial impact where they are addicted to these products. It can destroy their self-image and mental health.
என்னம்மா இத்துண்டு போட்டுக்கிட்டு
குங்குமம் போய் இவ்வளவு போட கூடாதுப்பா.
போது
ஐயோ மொத்தத்தையும் குடிக்காதப்பா, வயித்தை கீத்த கலக்க போகுது.
ஸ்டீல் பாடி ஒண்ணும் ஆகாது.
Excessive saffron. It is something that can lead to diarrhea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and also other gastrointestinal irritation. So anything too much can also be too bad. So please have everything in moderation. Well, if that knife had went little more, that would have probably cut his mouth, the angle of the mouth, and probably would have gone back cutting it. But it's Rajinikanth. Obviously, he stopped it right there with his teeth and it didn't go beyond. So what would have actually happened if it actually cut from here? There's something called as the Chelsea grin, or even called as the Glasgow smile, which is basically a cut from the angle of the mouth going towards the ears. Originated in Glasgow, Scotland, around 1920s to 1960s, where the people were involved in this gang riots. So they used this form as punishment to their people who they capture, and also showed their gang brutality by giving this deformity to the people. And one of the famous characters out there is the Joker, which you would have seen in Batman movies. So he also has the same. So if you're laughing and learning, mission accomplished. Do leave a like and subscribe for more. And also comment down below which Rajinikanth movie scene shocked you the most. Well, now he's blocking bullets with his bare hands. Again, something which is only possible by the one and only Rajinikanth. So, is this really humanly possible? So, the fired bullet goes with a speed of 900 to 1600 kilometers per hour. So, even with reflexes of a martial artist or like a monk, our human nervous system can't process it and react so quick. And also, the kinetic energy where the bullet moves is around 500 to 1500 joules, which is enough to breach the skin, tear the ligaments, go through the muscles, and eventually kill the person. But here Rajinikanth is probably just giving a high five to the bullet, and bullet deflects, ricochets, and goes somewhere else.
तेरे बाप की तिजोरी खोल दूं?
खोल दे।
Classic Rajinikanth. Well, that was pretty much like a metal door. It is not even a wooden door. It would have pained so much if it was a normal person. But here it is Rajinikanth. It would have probably led to swelling, hematoma, or a scalp laceration, fracture to the skull. But nothing happened here. Whereas he just slammed his head onto the locker, and the locker pin directly went from his brain to the thing, and it just opened like a Bluetooth biometric thing. So very impressive.
और कमाल देखना है? लो लो।
Well, a flying knife. RIP physics. Probably Newton would have jumped into a well watching this. Or probably laws of physics would have gone for a tea break, and that's when all this nonsense happened in between. Again, flying knife, like a boomerang. But this is something pretty much impossible because boomerangs have the shape of the whole thing, which gives it an aerodynamic effect and also airlift for it to go in a direction and also come back to us. But here it is a knife, a small knife, and unless you're throwing a Thor's hammer, this won't work. So this is Rajinikanth's power. So definitely it'll work, right? If they really wanted to keep him in position, they could have just held him with his hands or done something better. But instead, they all thought of keeping their legs on top of him, and I don't know how it is serving the purpose of keeping him in that same position. And towards the end, it seems like all the vehicles were parked right there so that they can just flip and turn in the air and fall onto the glass and just break the vehicles. Impressive, right? What was that supposed to do? Well, maybe if he probably did that steps few more times, he would have probably flown up. Like literally, was that really heroic in those times? I really don't know. Wonderful. Now that's like Superman now with this laser eyes shooting on, and he's lighting up the matchstick and he's later lighting up a cigarette. Nice. Well, your eyes is something that can only absorb. They are not emitters. They can receive all the radiation, light, rays whatsoever, but can never emit radiation like this until and unless you're having the heat in you that is generating all this, and end of the day it is a beam of light that you can shoot out. So from all these medical scenes, some of them were really wild, exaggerated, or maybe even flat impossible. But in end of the day, it all comes to Talaivar, who had come from all the humble beginnings to coming to a living legend. End of the day, he's not just a superstar. He's a man who has come with a symbol of grit, grace, and greatness. His journey from being a bus conductor to being a living legend and in his 70s is something really inspiring for all of us. So as a doctor, I break down the science, and as a fan, I bow down to his artistry. So let's all celebrate the man, the myth, the Talaivar, while still having a little bit of medicine fun along through the way. So that's all for today, my friends. I hope you guys liked today's episode of me reacting to Rajinikanth and some shocking medical scenes. And also, I hope you guys are liking the new movie out there, Coolie, which has been released. And also, do let me know in the comment section down below how you're liking the movie, your take on it. And as always, you guys take care, stay safe. This is Dr. Bob signing out.